kids! Welcome again to the Nolly and Trent Show. My name is Nolly, and this is Dinia, my co-host.
Hi, guys.
And today is episode number 27. What are we talking about today, Dinia?
Today, Molly, we're talking about uncertainty.
Uncertainty? Why are we talking about that?
Molly, we're talking about uncertainty because it's something that we all face, and it's not one of those uncomfortable feelings that I found really helpful to explore a little bit, because when I know how to face uncertainty, then I feel like I have a lot more options.
Okay, I'm trusting you on this one. It doesn't sound very interesting, though.
Thanks for sharing, Molly. It would be a very interesting one, I think, for us and also for our listeners, because uncertainty hits everyone the same, and most of us, Molly, we don't like uncertainty.
Ooh, now I'm interested.
Well, first of all, before we get to uncertainty, what do we do, Molly?
Oh, I know. We do our feelings check-in. Okay, today I am feeling, you know what? I'm feeling a little bit frightened.
Why are you feeling frightened, Molly?
Because I had a disagreement with my friend, and I don't know how it's gonna turn out, because we didn't finish the conversation.
Ah, I see. And so are you frightened because you're not sure if it's going to go well or not?
Yeah, exactly. I hope it goes well, but I'm a little scared if it does not.
That's totally fair, Molly. I can relate. I felt that way too when I've been in conversations with friends, and we had a disagreement and it didn't end well. And I remember that time, like between when we talked next, and it was really uncomfortable. I was uncertain about what to expect, and that's what we're talking about.
Oh, that's an uncertainty?
That's right, Molly. Uncertainty is when you don't know what's going to be happening next.
I see. Is this okay that I'm still scared?
Absolutely, Molly. Like, our feelings are legitimate.
I kind of felt bad, though.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't feel bad, Molly, because our feelings are really legitimate ways of our body expressing what it's feeling. And so if you're feeling scared and frightened, that's totally legitimate. That's something worthwhile speaking and knowing for yourself. And I want to encourage you in that. It's okay to feel scared, and it might feel uncomfortable, but can I remind you something?
Okay, what do you want to remind me?
It's a beautiful thing to feel, because a lot of people have forgotten how to feel.
Really?
Yeah, and when you forget how to feel, Molly, because you've practiced trying to ignore your feelings, it's a very sad existence. It's a very sad way to live.
I see. Okay, thank you for telling me that.
You're very welcome, Molly. Molly, in this moment, I'm feeling kind of pleased, because I too had a disagreement with a friend earlier, but I was able to do some thinking about it, and I'm feeling happy and pleased because after thinking about the conversation, I've got some ideas that I want to share and ways I want to get closer to this person that I am developing this connection with. And so that's where I'm feeling pleased.
Oh, I like that one. Pleased. That's a good one. Okay, now, can I tell you the dad joke? I have a really good dad joke today. I have two, actually. Are you guys ready for the dad joke?
I'm ready, Molly. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, here's the question. Did you hear about the rumor about butter?
Did I hear about the rumor about butter? No. Was there any rumor about butter?
Well, yeah, that I'm not going to spread it.
Oh, there's the joke. You're not going to spread the rumor about butter. Because we spread butter over bread usually, but you're not going to spread any rumors about butter.
You got it. I like watching you trying to figure out the jokes. It's so much fun.
I know. They're really clever jokes, Molly. I really enjoy them. Thank you for sharing it. Did you guys like that joke? I really like that joke. I can't wait for your joke at the end of our podcast today, Molly.
Okay, but first, we're going to talk about uncertainty, and apparently, I've already been experiencing it.
Yeah, so Molly, you were experiencing uncertainty because while you were frightened about what this conversation with your friend was going to look like, you were wondering what's going to happen, but you don't know.
Nope, I don't know at all. I'm hoping it goes well.
Well, that period where you don't know what's going to happen, Molly, is what we call uncertainty. Uncertainty is not being sure about something. And usually for most people, they're not really sure about what's going to happen in the future.
I see. So I have experienced uncertainty. Okay, now I'm really interested. I want to know, what do I need to know about uncertainty?
Well, Molly, that's a great question. What we need to know about uncertainty is this, that in life, there are many situations which you or I or you guys, we can't control. There's so many things that happen in life. So we'll make some plans, for example, Molly. Let's say, I've got an example here. Imagine this example because I can relate to this example.
Okay, let's hear it.
So imagine, Molly, that you and your friends in the neighborhood have been planning this amazing exploration in the woods behind your home. Let's say there's woods behind your home and you're planning this exploration. You guys are going to go in and you're going to make a fort and you're going to spend all day out in the woods and exploring and having fun. And on the day that you're planning all of these things, you thought that it was going to be sunny, but what actually happened was...
Don't tell me.
It rained that day and it was a downpour.
No, that's so awful because you were waiting to playing all these games and now it's raining.
Imagine that's what happened, Molly. So you see, we were planning to do something fun, but something else happened that was unexpected. And now we're uncertain of what we're going to do. We know we can't do what we plan to do. And now we're thinking, what are our other options? We're all not sure what's going to happen. We did not know it was going to rain. And so now all of our plans that we'd made are down the drain.
That's so sad.
Well, that is kind of like what uncertainty is. And when people experience uncertainty, they often don't like it because they don't know what's going to happen. And do you know what, Molly? I like knowing what's going to happen. I like planning for things in advance. I don't like surprises when they happen in a very unpleasant way.
Like when it rains and you wanted to play outside. That's so sad. I'm really sad about that example.
Well, there are ways of how we can deal with uncertainty. But before we do, I think something that would be really helpful for us to do and also for our audience to do is to think about what uncertainty makes us feel.
Oh, I know. It would make me feel really sad. I don't want to feel sad, but that's how I'd feel.
That's a good one, yeah. So many of us would feel sad. There are other different scenarios that bring about different emotions as well. So in the space of uncertainty where you don't know what's going to happen, for some people, they are very worried. For example, some of your parents, maybe you've seen them worried because they don't know how they're going to pay rent for your home that you're renting because maybe they didn't make enough money that month, and so you might see them worried. So your parents are uncertain about what's going to happen, and as a result, they are worried. Another one of those emotions that might come about is fear. Say, for example, that you have a deadline at school for a certain assignment, but you didn't do your homework on time, and that deadline is coming, and now you're uncertain about what's going to happen. But that brings about this emotion of fear because you're like afraid of what's going to happen if your teacher finds out. And that's what you were saying, right, Molly? You had this conversation with your friend and you were frightened about what the outcome could be. You don't know what's going to happen, but you're frightened that it could be a terrible outcome.
That's exactly how I was feeling. Yeah, did you guys have that feeling too? Because if you did, tell me. I can relate.
Well, another one of those emotions that we could feel, Molly, is sadness.
Really?
Yeah, well, imagine the example that I gave you.
Oh, yeah, right. I would feel sad. That's what I said.
That's right, Molly. It would be sad that you made all these fun plans and then you could not actually do them. That would make me tremendously sad.
Me too.
And along with sadness, another one that's kind of similar is maybe disappointment.
Oh, yeah. I would feel so disappointed.
Me too. Like, especially after all that work that you guys planned to make this happen and now you can't do it. Oh my goodness, that would be so sad.
And then I have one more that I want to suggest.
Okay, Molly.
Scary.
Oh, how do you think this could be emotion in the uncertain zone?
Oh, I think it'd be scary if you don't know what to expect. Like, it's kind of like walking in the dark.
Oh, Molly, that's a great analogy. It is like walking in the dark because you have no idea what's going to happen.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, these are some of the feelings that we can experience when we're feeling uncertain, when we don't know what's going to happen. And yeah, it's important that we can acknowledge those feelings, Molly, because when we acknowledge them, it helps us to be able to experience all the things that our body needs to experience to be able to cope with that uncertainty.
So what do we do when we're uncertain? And I want some help with this.
Oh, Molly, we've got some ideas here. One of the things we can start doing is remembering that we have options.
Really? Like what kind of options?
Well, let's take the two examples that we have here. The one with you and your friend who had a disagreement and you were frightened because you're not sure how it's going to turn out.
Yeah, I don't know. And I'd like to know what to do.
Well, remember, Molly, that you have options. And some of those options you have are you could plan the follow-up conversation with your friend. You could prepare something special for you and your friends so that you can have that talk in a really nice setting, for example. Or you can maybe take a break from that conversation and come back to it later.
I didn't know there's all these options.
There's always options, Molly. In the example that I gave about those friends who wanted to go play in the forest on a sunny day, but it was pouring rain. Well, the other options that they could do are they could get together at someone's home and play some board games, perhaps, or maybe they could play hide and go seek in someone's house. That would be fun. But when you start thinking of options, then you have a little bit more hope to be able to get through the uncertainty. And part of choosing what your options are is you're making them up. You're trying to think, what are the best options I could have that could keep me going through this time of not knowing what's going to happen. And as you choose those options, choose the one that fits the best for you. Not all options are the best, but choose the one that fits best for you.
I have a question.
Okay, Molly, go ahead.
Is it okay to feel uncertain? I mean, sometimes it doesn't feel good, but is it okay to feel uncertain?
Oh, that's a great question, Molly. It is absolutely okay to feel uncertain. In fact, it's important that we feel uncertain because it's our way of reminding ourselves that we're not in control and that we really do need help sometimes to figure out the best way forward. And so it's totally okay to feel uncertain. It's actually a really helpful thing to get used to, because when you start feeling that it's okay to feel uncertain, then you have a few more options that gives you permission to say, this is not a bad thing. Everyone feels uncertain sometimes. And one of the things we could do is we could ask questions if we need some help through uncertainty. We can ask questions of adults that we've come to learn and love and trust. So make sure you're asking the right people. Don't just ask anyone. It's also really helpful to remember that you're not alone. We all experience uncertainty, Molly, every single one of us. And sometimes we just don't know what to do. And that's when it's really nice to ask for some help, right?
I see. Is there any good things about uncertainty?
Absolutely. You can have some real superpowers with uncertainty.
Superpowers? Tell me more. Tell me more.
Well, if you practice how to come up with new options and new ideas when you face uncertainty, you start becoming flexible. You start becoming adaptable. These are fantastic superpowers because it means that you will never be bored and you won't be scared as often or uncertain. When you face uncertainty, if you practice these things of like looking for new ideas and new ways of solving the problems that you're facing, if you look for ways of how to get past the uncertainty by thinking through what your options are and remembering to feel the feels, Molly, you become an amazing person. You have these superpowers where you have ideas and everyone's going to look at you and say, man, you can always get us through uncertainty. That is a superpower. Flexibility and adaptability, being able to come up with new ideas, amazing.
I like those. I want to practice those. I want to get better at this.
And the other thing to remember, Molly, is that all of us, we've all experienced uncertainty. And so we've already gotten through it. And so it's just practicing doing it better, basically.
I know what time it is now.
What time is it, Molly?
Time for our dad joke. Are you ready for our last dad joke?
I would love to hear this. Okay,
here it is. Did you hear about the guy who invented the knock-knock joke?
No, I didn't hear about him.
Well, he won the Nobel Prize. Get it? Nobel?
Oh, I get it. Nobel. Thanks for sharing, Molly. Friends, thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the next episode. We love you guys.
Bye for now, kids.